Where's my time? I'm resident of Collinwood, Joel Sage, joined by my buddy Patrick McCray, author of the Dark Shadows Daybook. We're here to just continue our journey in the 1841 parallel time with episode 1128. Jonathan Frid narrates the opening of this episode, and that means one thing: the return of Bramwell. Since
it should, he should complain to his agent if it doesn't.
We haven't gotten Bramwell on a couple episodes for a while, and it's nice to see Jonathan Frid back in an episode. What do you think?
It is. It's better than Jonathan Frakes, who would have been very young in this, and he would have been, like 10. This is the soapiest episode of this storyline I think we've done so far. It's full of mushy grown-up stuff. So, it held my interest only so much. But Frid looks like he is auditioning all throughout this storyline, but I think in this episode especially, to be taken seriously as a gritty leading man. Yeah. And, he lowers his voice. He does talking like this. It's kind of like Liz Lemon doing her impression of Alec Baldwin. And he talks down like this. And it's effective. Frid really, in his physicality and his wig and everything else, really transforms into a very different character. And Frid, knowing he's on his way out, smartly takes the opportunity to show the world that, he can act, as he prepared for a career of kind of enjoying his retirement. Which to me is kind of like the ultimate, to show business. It's like, I'm going to show them how good I am, and then I'm just going to do whatever I want. I love that.
It's really, man, what a talented actor he was. I mean, just great actor. I really loved him in this episode. You're right. It does feel like he's auditioning for other roles. Like, hey, I'm available after this, because this has ended. That's what this episode.
Our rebels now really have ended. And I don't know if I think he'd gotten the news that he was canned. No. It was one of those, you can't fire me, I already quit kind of things. Yeah. And Joan Bennett in this episode, by God, I mean, she does not lose one step. I love her as Flora Collins. This is it's nice to see her playing a character with the same name from 1840 time, but a completely different personality. And she's so good at flipping that switch where she was this sort of giddy, happy-go-lucky Flora to very serious Flora Collins, way more serious. I dare say this character's more serious than Elizabeth at times. Yeah, I really enjoy her interaction with Melanie, definitely her interaction with Kendrick here. John Carlin's in this episode as well. Melanie's confession to killing Stella. What did you think about it? It was very powerful. And I like how everyone's trying to say, well, maybe you didn't. Not really, no, I killed, by God, I killed. No, well, maybe you didn't. Maybe it was, maybe something else. And she's just determined to assume guilt like nobody's business.
I actually think Dark Shadows inspires certain movies to where they're trying to talk a character out of something, and that character's trying to talk you into something. Yep. Nancy Barrett does a really good job. They've been building to this for a while now. This, again, none of the 1841 parallel time episodes feel like filler. It's just one big continuation of the story they're telling. And you're right, this episode's very soapy because it's very grown up and emotional. But I think all of 1841 really has been just grown up and emotional, the whole thing.
We just need a possessed person running around, or more haunted room, or a skeleton or something like that.
Yeah, I think if like literally the door opens and you see the ghost of Brutus Collins come out, that would have been cool.
You know how you see Kay Jackson, at the end of the episode kind of leering at them?
Yeah.
I didn't have my glasses on, and I swear to God, I thought it was Judah Zachary at first. I don't what? How did they pull that off?
Well, at first when you watch it, you're sort of like, well, wait, James Storm isn't in this episode. you you do gotta watch because Kate Jackson blends in so well with her dark hair with the dark setting, and so it's just, and she's got this this intense face. It's like she's doing a great job because I mean, she suspected this all along that it was going to be Bramwell and Catherine getting together.
Sure.
She realizes her marriage is now a sham. And it's...
Oh, God, Bramwell has that great line. She says, I've decided what I'm going to do. Yeah? I'm going to stay. Ah, great. You're going to stay. And she has this very modern line when he storms out. She's like, well, I thought maybe we could go out tonight, go to Sizzler, all you eat. Or whatever. It's like, I don't know if people really went out on dates in 1840. I don't think that's quite how it worked.
I think they just stayed home and got together, as the kids say.
Suffered, I mean, that's they had a lot of suffering to do.
Especially the Collins.
Yeah, I mean, because rich people can really suffer. They can afford to have tutors and Plantagenets to help them learn how to suffer.
I really love how you get a lot of mentioning with the characters here. You get a mention of Julia, even though she's not in the episode. You get a mention of not Gabriel, but Morgan in this episode, who's still James Forsythe, by the way. And I love Laura Parker coming down the steps. She's very frustrated and agitated. I think she's just fine. I think she went through so many stages in just so short episodes of being concerned for her husband. Now she's pissed at her husband for going in the room at this episode.
She really is. It's like, thanks a lot. We had things to do. We had plans that night. It was date night, but you had to go home.
I really like that. I like how she's got this emotional, pissed off look, and she gives that, I'm mad at my husband for doing this.
Yeah. Well, you're married. You know what that looks like. Yes. No. Anyway.
Yeah, I know what that looks like, and I know what the punishment is.
Your wife's a wonderful woman, Joel.
But I really love how Laura Parker does that range. I mean, and
this is a serious episode. I mean, there's some what we call red meat acting. I mean, they're digging in.
I really like the interaction between her and Jen Bennett too. You Collins is what Catherine says.
That is really ugly.
Yeah, you're right. There's very serious moments in this episode, and I love how, even though when you look at how they're talking, they're trying to convince Melanie no. After Kendrick leaves, you have a moment where Jen Bennett's character Flores say, "Oh, he's going to go to the police," because in fairness to her, he has gone to the police before. So it's like, will he? This is where you really find out that Kendrick really does love Melanie. This episode here, I think, is the cemented episode.
It is.
It's really, every episode has been important. It's not just been a setup piece. Yes, there are setup pieces episodes, but they always have something important in them. And in this episode, you get that Kendrick really loves Melanie because he meets her and he goes, I didn't go to the police. I love you. I came back to marry you. Really,
sure. That's what you do with a potential murderer.
If only somebody had proposed to Michael, maybe lives would have been saved.
There's too much truth, Joel. Too much truth.
If somebody would have proposed to Gabriel, lives would have been saved.
As a man cursed with singlehood, I don't want to compare myself to those characters, but it does get to you after a while. Mm-hmm. It really does. So I think there's some truth in there.
You know where I proposed to my wife at? in her parents' living room. That's where I proposed to her.
Wow.
We were all sitting at dinner. I got up to go to the bathroom, and she was standing up, and I just got down on one knee and I proposed to my wife. And she said,
then did you go to the bathroom?
I came back from the bathroom.
So wait, so you came back to the bathroom. You went to the bathroom, you came back, and then you got down on one knee and proposed.
Yes.
Did you turn the fan on and close the door at least after you got out of the bathroom before you proposed?
No, I was just going in there as a fake out, so I was throwing my wife off, so she thought I was going to the bathroom is what I was doing.
Now, every time you go to the bathroom, does she think you're going to have some monumental announcement?
No.
In years? Is it going to be a divorce? Is it going to be that you're pregnant? What next?
No, but I have a funny story about that. We did not realize, I didn't realize my wife was pregnant a second time, and our son was basically like, surprise, I'm pregnant.
Now, was this when you proposed?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm getting so confused.
We didn't try for kids until well into our marriage, so
that's good. Neither did I.
But because my daughter just turned 14 this year. She was born in 2009. My son was born in 2011. Uh-huh. And so when Julie was pregnant with Logan, we didn't know she was pregnant. She had missed, and she's like, she got a test without saying anything to anyone, even me. And she goes, "Hey, I got something to tell you." I'm like, "What?" "I'm pregnant."
How did you respond?
I'm like,
you were happy.
I'm like, "Oh my God, are you really?" She goes, "No, I'm just sitting here fibbing." Yes, and she showed me the stick. The result. Oh,
yeah, that's always quite a moment when you get shown that pregnancy. I've never seen it, but I've read books.
It's something else. I really love the soap opera episode we're given here, because there's a lot of pride in every character, and every character demonstrates their pride and their ego. Really, you got Joan, and I love, my favorite interaction is Joan Bennett and Jonathan Ford, because we never really got the Barnabas and Elizabeth confrontation.
I think they got along.
Well, right. But with this, we get a Bramwell and Flora confrontation, which I really, really liked in this episode.
It was high time.
It was. It didn't feel forced, or it just felt so natural. And I think, give credit to the writers and the actor and actress for making it feel that way for us. I mean, really, really great job by everybody here.
I agree.
What do you think of the costume designs for 1841?
Well, that brings us to a very sad thing, because Mary McKinley, who was the costume designer, just died.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. Yeah. They're absolutely wonderful. She cheated a little bit and, played around with exactly what decade is this. So, I mean, she's sort of having fun with that. But, and, why not? But they are, I mean, for one thing, it's the first costumes they didn't rent. Yeah. These they bought, or and they had made for the actors. And so there's a lot of versatility. They have lots of tops and bottoms that can be mixed and matched like Garanimals. And that, I think that works extremely well. The only costume in this that really is a sore thumb are Kendrick's, because I don't know if it's the fabric or what, but it's one of those things where a costume designer looks at what contemporary fashions are and then finds the period piece that will also look the most contemporary. Unfortunately, he looks like a hot tub salesman who's wandered in from an airport lounge. It it looks too leisure suity for me, especially what he's wearing in this episode. So it's with the big brass buttons and all of that. It's period. It's exact. Yes. But it also just looks a little bit like they're trying awfully hard. So that's a quibble. These are probably the most exquisite costumes they had on the show.
Whose costume did you enjoy the most?
The orange dress on Melanie.
Yeah.
Wow, it is just so perfectly fitted. It really influences her performance, which it's supposed to do. I think it's just marvelous.
The two I enjoyed most was David Selby's blue Superman outfit. Really looks good, and it just fits him so nicely. And I really love Catherine's dress in these episodes. Really nice. And I actually like how Daphne looked too. Both sisters looked good, even though they're just playing sisters. But really good really good outfits that I like. I think with Kendrick, because I think they could have gave him maybe a different outfit, say, because James Storm isn't in too many episodes. They could have gave him a Judah Zachary outfit or two.
Well, that would just be a glass box.
Or sorry. Oh God, not Judah Zachary, but oh God.
Gerard Stiles.
Yeah, Gerard Stiles. I keep blanking on his name. A Gerard Stiles outfit. They could have just gave him one of his suits or something, but they don't. You're right. He does look like that DC villain guy in his outfit.
Oh, Kendrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick looks like the Toy Man.
I put those pictures up side by side, and I was like, they liked it. They're like, so I think they got the fact that Kendrick looks like the Toy Man.
How could you not? Yeah, I mean that's just acting in accord with reality.
Again, I think everybody's outfit looks really good, obviously except for Kendrick's. I tell you whose outfit I like, even though he doesn't appear a bunch of times, is actually Lewis Edmonds as freaking Brutus Collins. He looks menacing in his outfit.
He looks like he wandered right off an old Dutch master's cigar box, and he looks terrific.
Yeah, it's not something like too fancy. It's the way it's all black, really nicely dressed, and just looks so menacing on him. He looks like an evil son of a bitch, which he should, because he is.
They had a really good time.
Yeah, they did. I actually like James Forsythe's outfit when we actually see it in the flashback, which is coming up, but really great.
Big collar, yeah.
Really great designs by the really great outfits, and everything just seems to come together on this episode too. You almost have a slip up of Bramwell saying that Catherine's pregnant with his kid to Flora, and they meet in the gazebo and they have a passionate kiss, we'll say. And well, who sees it? Daphne.
That kiss is like a declaration of war. That on Bromwell's part, he is serious.
It is too, because this is the most unfaithful Catherine has really been. The pregnancy happens before the marriage, or at least
you're splitting hairs, but yes.
Well, it
is, yeah.
How the pregnancy comes about happens before the marriage, because it does. But the pregnancy, she gets pregnant, and she didn't know she was pregnant. She gets married, and that's when she starts having her fading spells as she goes down, and she just tells it as stress. And then you find out, no, she's pregnant. She drops the bombshell on Bramwell, which it's a heavy one, and it's after he gets married to Daphne, obviously. In this, you finally have Catherine being unfaithful to Bramwell, to Morgan, for the most part, she's been by Morgan's side through the whole possession thing until tonight, where she just gets totally pissed off at him for going in the room.
Good.
Yeah, and it's a really great acting job by Laura Parker. And really, even though he's not in the episode, I got to give credit to Keith Prentice as Morgan / James Forsythe, because you get why she's so frustrated because of how he's been acting as James Forsythe. And he's just like pushing her away, like, I'm not your husband. And it's really, in every way, that sets up this episode. That it really, really is good. What's your final thoughts about this episode here?
It is, for me, more than anything, it's Bromwell's declaration of war. That, by God, you're mine. You're in my life. This is gonna happen. And the fact that Daphne now really sees it and has evidence, I think, is going to catalyze a lot of action.
The room's going to do Catherine and Bramwell a favor and kill Daphne off. That's going to be Catherine's punishment for not going to the room. But we'll get there. What are you doing tomorrow night, my friend?
I'm talking about episode 1229.
That'll be a fun blast, I promise. I think the one thing I want to add to is the fact that you understand Catherine's frustration, and you sort of, Bramwell has been very I don't know who's been more consistent, Bramwell or Kendrick. They've both been pretty consistent.
They have. It's the unstoppable force and the immovable object, and they're about to clash in and around the room.
You've heard of the mega powers, right? Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
Of course.
This is the mega powers, Bramwell and Kendrick, although they're not an official tag team. They should have been. They only meet like a couple times in the episode. It's a very little interaction, actually.
They're ready for their singlet.
They are. They really are. I don't know who we could get to be the referee, but they're ready for that. What's that?
Jim Pearson.
There you go.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, well, I think he'd have a good time doing that. No, but I really enjoy all the soap stuff we get here because it just feels right after everything we've seen up until this point. And
these
Lily,
are vegetables. We've had dessert. Now we need to eat the vegetables.
Right, and it doesn't make you feel cheated in this episode. What you're getting?
No.
I think that's all I got. Patrick, is there anything you want to add, buddy?
It's a wonderful world.
It is. Link to the Dark Shadows Daybook Unbound is going to be in the description box, guys. Go pick that bad boy up. I'm going to read some more tomorrow for you guys. And I'm going to have a live stream Sunday night reading. So I hope you guys will enjoy that too. It has been a blast, my brother. I will see you tomorrow night, dude.
Sim Salabim. I'll see you later.
Good night.
Bye.